What's up, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a pop punk dad podcast. I'm Wingman Steve.
And I'm Chris 183 after a short pause and speaking dramatically.
Is that going to continue this whole episode, or we're just going to...
It might.
Okay.
But it sounds really cool when I do this.
Okay.
You know who else used to do this was Jerry Stiller on Seinfeld. Go watch it if you haven't. But anyway, I'm not Jerry Stiller. I am Chris 183, and today is a very special day, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, welcome to the show. I'm excited once again because we are back, Steve, on the road to Four Chord. I had to say it like that because it is that important. We're back on the road to Four Chord. This is my favorite time of year. Without a doubt. Okay?
The leading up to it, not the actual show, just the leading up to it.
Everything.
The anticipation.
Like, the leading up to it, the anticipation, and then the show. The post-show is a letdown because it's over. It's like Christmas Day. It's over. You know? All the presents are already opened, and there's no more presents to open.
There's still Boxing Day.
I don't get anything for Boxing Day.
There's a Blink-182 song for it. It counts for something.
But so, yeah, I could listen to that, but you get what I'm saying. This is an exciting time of year. Road to Four Chord. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. And, who better to discuss that with than our good friend, Rishi, who's been on the... Guys, if you haven't listened to a High School Never Ends show with Rishi on it, you need to go back right now and listen to every single show he's been on. They're all phenomenal, but it's a new year, Steve, and a new Four Chord. And we have a lot to talk about with Rishi this week.
What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? Good to be back. Go Penguins, go Steelers, go Pirates, fuck Eastern PA. Hi.
Thank you for that. It's nice to chat with you again. This is your kind of, I guess, do you have like when is go time, right? Go time could be the day before the show. Go time could be right afterwards where you're trying to book bands for the following year. Go time could be when you're trying to sell tickets for this year. What's the craziest time for you in regards to Four Chord Music Festival?
Yeah, I mean, there's stages. The get in the band stage is kind of like a sit around and wait stage. And then, the on sale is a huge rush to get everything together. And that's probably the most stressful time because the show is going to do basically, believe it or not, in the first 24 hours. You really can kind of gauge, how it's going to go. And then go time is really probably the week of, the building of the festival is super stressful. It's very labor intensive, and then the tear down, as well. So those two, probably the on sale and then the tear down and the build up to the festival are the most stressful times.
You sound very relaxed right now, so you're cool. This is no problem. Right in the middle.
I am so relaxed. Like, yeah, dude, like it's so calm and it's not stressful at all ever here in my house or in my life.
I'm stressed out, but in a good way. So everybody, we had the pleasure of being able to hang out with Rishi in real life not too long ago, and during that evening, I specifically did not bring up Four Chord whatsoever because I didn't want to. I wanted to be surprised. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to preview. I didn't even want to ask whether or not Rishi could talk about it. It didn't really matter. I wanted to be surprised, but the funny thing was, I think it was the next day or maybe 2 days after is when the announcement came out, and that was pretty cool the way that timed out like that. But
yeah, it was cool. First of all, it was awesome hanging out with you guys, and we played poker and gambled the whole night. An individual on this podcast was a little inebriated. That was great.
I don't know who that was.
Who the fuck was that? But yeah, then I think it was a week and a half later or so we announced the fest. But yeah, it's weird like meeting people in real life that like you don't like know. And that was one of the few times where like you guys are exactly the way you are on the podcast, like identical. Like obviously, one of you is more cerebral and one of you is more visceral. And
I like the head and hand gesture that I think I got. Yeah, like basically a cartoon character. Thank you. Go ahead.
No, that's all. No, but yeah, that was fun. And but Four Chord was got announced shortly after that, and it was it's been just a constant battle every day since then.
I think there's a movie, one battle after another. Let's talk about some of these battles or some of these changes. We had an absolutely fantastic time last year, right? We had a packed 2 days. It was a Saturday and Sunday, the way that Four Chord has run, for many, many years, and going into Four Chord Music Festival 12, September 25th and 26th at FMB Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. One thing that you'll notice that changed is the days and kind of the format. So I'm curious as to what went into that decision and how you're feeling about what we're moving into 2026.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people are kind of asking, like why do we constantly have different dates? 1 year it was in June, and then 1 year it was in September, and then and then also obviously now the days. And if I think back, is that your cat?
Yep, it is.
What's your cat's name?
His name is Mosby.
As in Ted.
As in Ted Mosby. If I got a second one, I was going to name him Stinson, but that never came to fruition.
I love animals more than humans. That's another story. So yeah, we do like exit surveys, or we did an exit survey this past festival after 2025, and there was kind of fatigue on Sunday, and then it's like, oh, do I take off Friday or do I take off Monday if you're traveling in? And it seems like people prefer to, or at least based on that small survey, preferred to kind of take off Friday and have Sunday to get home to travel and so on and so forth. So we decided to do that this year. We've done it one time before in 2022. It was Friday and Saturday. Friday was an all punk day. We had Descendants, Bad Religion, Pennywise. And then day 2 was Jimmy Eat World, All Time Low, a few other bands. And it worked out fairly well. I don't love it. But we are starting the Friday a little later. So it's not starting like at noon. It's starting at 2 or 3. And it kind of fit well with the tour that the headliner on day 1, Knock Loose, was doing, which their tour technically starts on that Saturday. So they came in a day earlier to do that, which want to talk about changes, why don't we talk about the lineup a little bit too, right?
Are you hosting the show or are we hosting the show here? We have a very specific plan here, buddy.
You know what? Rishi calls the shots here, Steve.
It's okay.
No, it's good. No, we can hold on. But yeah, so
he does.
We decided to go Friday, Saturday, and then, the new venue, as you noted, FNB Stadium, which is in downtown Pittsburgh, confluence of the Three Rivers. Always wanted to go back there. We did it there in 2019 before the pandemic. Never could get back. So I love the location. And, we'll see about that Friday, Saturday. Sunday Steelers play at home. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise that we kind of got out of there by then, but we'll see.
Are they playing the Bengals?
Correct.
Yeah,
they are.
One of my very good friends is a Bengals fan, and I think he may be flying in so that he can piggyback and take care of that.
Yeah, I'm sorry that he's a Bengals fan, but that sounds like a great time for him.
Me too.
So I've been to the stadium multiple times. I really do like it. I think that it's going to work out well. There's seating, and I imagine that, and I don't know if this is something you can talk about or not, but will it be a similar configuration where people will be allowed on the field to be closer to the stages, or can you talk to that a little bit?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, great question. And, we're going to release like a site map much earlier this year than we normally do. Yeah, it's the same setup as it would have been in the previous stadiums that we've had it in. Both stages are going to be side by side in one of the, we'll just call end zones, or where the goals are. And both stages will be set up. GA will have full access on the field. All of our vendors and all of our kind of activations are going to be on the field as well. And then we have a new addition this year. We took away Deluxe VIP. Felt like just was too expensive. It just felt like we couldn't hone in, at least at our previous venue, an experience that I felt was worth it. So we added something called GA Plus, which is going to take up a portion on the field that have a private bar, private bathrooms. What's really gnarly this year are the VIP suites. So the VIP experience this year, and if you've been to the stadium or you're from Pittsburgh, their suites like overlook the field and overlook the whole city, which is just an absolute prime view. It's not in a tent anymore. We don't have to worry about our AC units or the portacools we have. Are they strong enough? It's totally temperature controlled, totally enclosed. And then the bleachers, or the seats that are the installed seats at the stadium, are just first come, first serve like they were at previous parks.
Yeah, that's a great built-in feature though for people that, just want to take a break or whatever, just want to get to the side. So that's cool that it's going to be the same, but it sounds like it's going to be a great setup. I actually, I think I'm going to do one of those VIP things. I really like that overlook, because when I read about it, I'm like, okay, this is definitely something I'd be into. Unfortunately, it seems like one of the days is already sold out. So.
Well, we'll take care of you. Don't worry. You're in the inn.
Do you buy a ticket or do you buy kind of like a box or a suite for multiple people? How does that work?
Yeah. So we thought a lot about that because the capacity is maxed at like 250 or 270. It's not like a suite. It's for you and your friends. It's just a whole area that's got its own bar. It has its own like private, fully like in a suite type bathroom or restrooms. We're gonna have photo ops. We've got leather sofas, and then there's a balcony. So like you walk, it's all enclosed, and then you walk outside, and there's an outdoor balcony, and that's where it overlooks the entire city. It's honestly outside of Mount Washington. There probably is not a spot in that area of Pittsburgh, and this is in Station Square, which is right below Mount Washington, that can even compete with this particular view and this particular setup. Normally, jaws drop when they walk in a stadium. It's beautiful. The ownership group and the people that run it are awesome. And that VIP is really kind of special this year, which is why we increased the ticket price a little bit on those VIPs in order to accommodate that area.
So
really cool.
I know that you're very clued in to your audience. You said you did exit surveys. We talked in an episode about, kind of some of the aftermath last year. And we know that you read the receipts. You read what the people are saying. Is there anything else that listen, you learn stuff, I'm sure, year to year to year to year, constantly improving. What do you think you took away from last year that is something that is going to be incorporated this year, if anything?
Oh yeah, totally. Absolutely. Yeah. Great questions. Obviously last year we had some bathroom issues, and that was kind of like the big sticking point. And what's great about this venue is that there are more fixed bathrooms inside, and they're spread out more. So they're not concentrated to one or two areas, those fixed bathrooms. And secondarily, we are adding the GA Plus is going to really help that too. The GA Plus has been really popular this year. It seemed like what people wanted out of their VIP experience is essentially access to clean, flushable, independence bathrooms and an area of refuge. So I figured the GA Plus could be that for those people that don't want to spend, a lot on a VIP experience, which is different and more luxurious. And that's what we provided. So we've added more bathrooms this year. And really, like, just by being in Pittsburgh, a lot of the other issues that came to fruition, I think, are eliminated, or maybe there's an expectation now. For example, traffic. So you leave a Steeler game, there will be no more and significantly less traffic, obviously, than a Steeler game. The city and the infrastructure is obviously built to have heavy trafficked areas, whereas Washington County really wasn't. Ubering, ride sharing. We now have, prime, ample access and, centrally located in a way where people can ride share much more freely than they otherwise would in Washington County, and have it be more affordable. So those are some of the things. I think the big thing, and I don't mean to keep going to it, but it's really what people always ask me after you have Blink-182 as a headliner. Where do you go from there? And the real change is really the what I would call growth into another genre that's within the same category of, punk, hardcore, so on and so forth. That was intentional. But those are kind of the bigger changes that we have. And we lower ticket prices. If you go on the internet, people will bash. We put this like what's new type of language that talks about how for day one, we significantly decreased it, almost around $47 or $45 per ticket. And even from last year, from the Blink ticket, it's $25 below what it was, the base value of the ticket. And that also comes with we have an increased fee on the ticket because there's an amusement tax in the city of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County that has to be covered, and so on and so forth. So the pricing, the bathrooms, the lineup, the venue, these are all kind of the big catch-all items that I think are different.
You know that
I'm
we're all
I'm
getting
an
old.
idea guy, and I got an idea for you. Okay, so
Please.
it's going to be September. Picture this, like, it's September time frame. It's that time of year where we start to think about, Halloween, and the leaves turn, and there's corn stalks and that sort of thing. And there's all these mazes, right? You get these hay mazes that they put together at these pumpkin patches, and people love them. They pay for it. What if you brought in in a big lot 2,500 porta potties and made it into a maze?
And then if you make it to randomly, like Jason Voorhees is in one of them or two of them throughout, if you get to that one. That's actually fucking really good idea. I'm not.
The other
joking.
ones you could use if you want, but you want to get to the end of the maze too, and you don't want to get the one with Jason Voorhees either.
I mean, you being from Pittsburgh, do you know what they used to do in Station Square in October and September?
I?
They called it Station Scare, and they had three haunted houses. They had the USS Nightmare, which is a ship right on the river that you would go. That sounds awesome. And to be honest with you, I've been contemplating like doing like a horror themed festival in October. I mean, when I say I've been thinking about it, I mean, like, I'm never going to do it, but it would be absolutely awesome if we could. But we could do both. That's a great idea.
All right. See, Steve?
Hired.
I was just going to say, that everybody's getting old when the surveys are all about the bathrooms, and it is what it is.
It's true, though. I get it. And it's like, we don't want to travel on a Sunday. Or on a Monday. We want to be off on a Sunday. My back hurts. Like, I empathize. So.
Listen, for me personally, I'm coming from Eastern PA, so there's going to be a 4 to 5 hour drive afterwards. So having Sunday open does work for somebody like me. And, people fly in from all over the place. Obviously, there's the majority are going to be local, but it does take into account kind of a little bit of everybody. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think last year it was like 60-40, 40+% of people flew in from outside of Western PA. Huh. This year it's a little smaller, but it's still, so we have a large majority. It's becoming a destination event and a tourist event.
And all right, I think that leads us into let's talk about the lineup. I know you were itching to get to it, so we have a bit of a distinction. You said it was intentional between Friday and Saturday. I'll let you kind of describe it. What do we got on Friday?
Yeah, so I mean, like, I guess my whole mindset was like, there's basically 8 bands that can fill this Blink void, right? And for me, anybody that knows me, you can even see in some of the background posters that I have here in my place, like, I mean, like, there's obviously, like, Blink was it for me. I mean, it's the White Whale. It was a dream come true. It's like, if you're not getting Green Day or Fall Out Boy or My Chemical Romance or Paramore, for this next year, to me, the only thing you should do is pivot. So, and that's what day one was. And I secretly, people think that I'm just like this pop punk lover. Like, I really love hardcore music. Like, bands like H2O and Madball and Terror and, all these bands, like, I'm actually a big fan of. And I think that Knocked Loose is really cool. And so day one is super heavy, with a little bit of sprinkled in there, like, the elder emo and the kind of post-hardcore thing with Under Oath and Bayside and, a few other bands. So day one is trying to cater in a new crowd, right? I mean, that's kind of an intentional move. And then day two, admittedly, I don't listen to Pierce the Veil that much. They're having a huge moment right now from headlining. I mean, much to my probably doesn't benefit me, but they're headlining Riot Fest. They're playing Shaky Knees. They're playing Louder Than Life. They're playing the Wimmerfest. They're playing, like, there's a lot of momentum with that band. And then again, if we were going to go that like 2009 V-neck MySpace era world, like, you got to get Boys Like Girls and you got to get Mayday Parade for that. And then the Staples and State Champs and trying to, like, Motion City Soundtrack. And for me, there's always one band on the fest for me, and that's Finch this year, a drive-through band. So I just kind of wanted to make it a little more, dare I say, apropos for a particular time period, with 2009, 10 being that era. So yeah, I mean, the lineup was intentional. I think it's really, I love it. I think it ended up kind of coming together in really cool ways. And we've like got a whole new set of people. Like, we've had the more growth on our socials and like in our reach than we've ever had before. And that's a testament to an intentional move to trying to procure more of those crowds. Now, the hardcore scene's much different than the pop punk world. You know, the fans have a different expectation. I was very cognizant about price and how, you know, what are we spending on day one versus what can we charge somebody who's paying normally $20-$30 at a hardcore show. And in doing that, we included 2 bands from Pittsburgh on that day that I believe are like torchbearers for this world. It's a band called Pain Clinic, who are like the hardcore band in Pittsburgh right now. And also a band called Face Wreck, who my good friend AJ, who owns and operates Preserving and Preserving Underground, he is the owner, founder of that. He's the lead singer of Face Wreck. So there's like, you know, some buy-in from those people. I've known these guys forever, for 25 years, who we support each other so much, even though we're not in the same musical world. So that was kind of intentional too. But, you know, I think I really am happy with the lineup this year. I think it's apropos for a pivot, and it's also still not alienating those that liked it before. Long answer.
Did some of the bands take a little bit longer than others to get locked in to the lineup?
Brother, if you only knew what it took this year, this was a very, very, very hard lift to get it going. We announced in May. We announced in 2024. We announced in February. Last year we announced in March, and this year we announced in May.
Yeah,
it's the nature of the fest world. There's like scarcity of headliners that it's just getting very difficult to do it, and it did take longer than I wanted.
I'm actually pretty excited because I will say, like, I don't know a lot of these bands for Friday, so it's gonna kind of be a new experience for me, and I'm excited to check it out. And it was actually very cool that you added in Bayside, because that's kind of the one that, like, again, Bayside could have potentially been thrown in either day, but that's going to kind of satisfy my, okay, I know the words to some of these songs when I'm checking this stuff out. I don't know if I'm going to get in too close. I don't know what these mosh pits are going to look like on Friday, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you better wear a helmet.
I think I will. Can we get high school friends helmets made?
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
It's not a circle pit. It's not. It's different.
Not.
What is it
Much
like?
Different.
It's smashing each other pit. Yeah. Right now.
You the best. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a hardcore. Hardcore is a little more, which is so funny too. I was talking to a friend that's writing a book on hardcore, and it's like you could be like a hardcore Penguins fan, you could be a hardcore pop punk fan, but like hardcore music is kind of the inception of that concept of hardcore, and they're just very passionate. You know, it's like I was talking to somebody, I can't remember. It was like somebody like with the city, and they listened to some of the bands on day one, and they're like, what is this? And I was like, do you like horror movies? They're like, yeah, I love horror movies. I was like, do you find that extreme to some degree? And they understood it whenever you put it in that context. Like there's different genres that we all like to some degree, but hardcore is just kind of that horror movie version of the music scene that we're in. And I mean that colloquially. I don't mean that literally, obviously.
Sure. So I'm like Steve, though. I think that there's a lot of bands on here that I don't know that well, but I'm excited to get to know them. And obviously, you know, prior to the show, I like to do a little bit of homework in listening to all of the bands that I'm going to be watching. For me, well, I'll do as much as I can. Here's the thing, though, Rishi. I think that, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree with this, is if you go watch a live show and you don't know the music as much, it can be really good, still a good experience, but it's not as good as if you've heard it or know it or can sing to it or whatever the case is. So here's, and I know this is all just opinion based, and I'm not, you like all these bands that are coming to your show, but are there any that we really should watch out for or maybe spend a little bit more time on doing our homework?
Yeah. Good. Yeah. For day one?
Either day or both.
Either day, yeah. That's a really good. I can't remember who's on the show. I'm kidding. So I think that for day one, the hottest band on that bill, in my opinion, is a band called Military Gun. Military Gun, just literally when we announced the festival, they just did their NPR Tiny Desk performance, which of course, I mean, it goes without being said, and maybe I don't know if this is like not allowed to be said in public, but like all the cool bands do NPR, right? I mean, all the cool artists. I mean, Turnstile did it, Taylor Swift did it, Mac Miller did it, Like everybody did, and Military Gun got that. They're very hardcore influence, but they're probably one of the most melodic bands on the show that day. I think you guys would appreciate Military Gun a lot. They played in 24, crushed. So Military Gun and I think Super Heaven are the two bands on day one that you should spend some time with. Super Heaven is very grungy. They are this like emo-y kind of shoegazy with these like heavy Deftone-y type feel to it. A lot of droney stuff with vocals too that kind of you get lost in this kind of juxtaposition of their heavy music and the droney vocals. Not a lot of screaming with Super Heaven either, so that's going to be interesting. My favorite band on day one is Haywire. Haywire is a band from Boston. They are super hard, like New York City from Boston, so it's probably sacrilegious to say, but like very hardcore of what I grew up with Madball and H2O and that kind of world. And their live shows are fucking crazy, dude. Go to YouTube, look up any Haywire show. I hope my insurance company doesn't show up that day. So I mean, let's just say that. So that's for day one for me, right? For day two, Finch is there for me. I think Finch is one of the best bands ever to come out of Drive Thru Records, and even that whole scene. Like, I feel like Finch was the band. Like, if they stuck to it, like the Used did, for example, I think they'd be as big as the Used are now, without question. For me, it's Finch, Motion City Soundtrack, and Cartel. I love Motion City. I missed them in 2024 completely when they played because it was monsooning, and I was trying to figure out what the fuck I was going to do with that. But I think Motion City and Cartel in 2020 or 2017, I believe it was 2018. They weren't playing, they weren't active, but Will from Cartel played the festival acoustic. So they're now playing it full band. So that for me are the bands that I would pay close attention to. Buzz band right now that like are the nicest humans ever and are so hot right now is Mom Jeans.
Yeah.
For day two, Mom Jeans is just like they kind of didn't break up or anything, but I feel like they became a little less active over the last 2 or 3 years. And like the bands that really have staying power, they grow in those times where they're not playing. American Football, Jawbreaker, My Chemical Romance, like these bands historically just exploded whenever they stopped playing. The same happened to them. So that's where my head is at.
Yeah, I am very excited for Saturday. I'll admit, I don't know much about Pierce the Veil, but we just did a thing. It's called You Pick 'em June, where we have our followers vote. We had multiple people tell us, like, you got to listen to Pierce the Veil. You got to check them out. So interested to see them headlining. I just saw Mayday Parade recently. They fucking kill it live. They have a really...
Taking Back Sunday?
I'm sorry? Yeah.
Taking Back Sunday.
It was that
really.
tour. They have a really cool, like, whatever you call it, behind, like, their screen show was very, very neat. I've never seen Boys Like Girls, but I like their 2 albums a lot, so I would be excited to see them. They were kind of one of those bands. They came to Philly, and I was like, if I don't have anything else going on, maybe I would go to that, but I didn't. So I liked them in the setting. State Champs, Around the World and Back, fucking amazing album. I saw them do that, like, relatively recently, so this will be the second time I get to see that. Mom Jeans, we just got into on this show a couple of months ago, and they were cool. They were fantastic. Obviously,
they're great people too. They're great people too. Yeah, they really are. Really, really good people. Yeah, humble, like the kind of band like you want to see make it. They're just because they're just so down to earth.
Absolutely. Like, and we just had Will from Cartel on the show last week, so he gave us like an hour and a half. We played their new song. Their couple of new songs are fucking killer. I cannot wait for that album to come out later this year. And then Chris, you've never seen Finch, right? How excited are you?
I've never seen Finch. This is a bucket list right here.
Tell Rishi what I got you for Christmas.
Yeah, Steve, for Christmas, he's hit a home run, a grand slam. Actually, he reached out to, I believe it was directly to Nate. I'll just if it wasn't that, then we'll just say that it was. But
it was.
He commissioned him to write out the lyrics to What It Is to Burn, and then sign it on parchment paper and framed it. It was it's sitting downstairs, right in my game room, front and center. So Probably one of the
Wow.
best things I've ever gotten. Yeah.
I got letters to you.
Jeez.
I got letters to you for myself. I got What It Is to Burn for Chris, because letters to you is my jam.
I mean, dude, first of all, that is a sick gift. I thought you were going to be like, oh, he got me a big ass rubber dildo, but it wasn't.
That's this year.
That's this year.
Signed by Nate from Finch.
That would be awesome.
You know, his Instagram handle was like, isn't it organs in orbit? I mean,
There you go.
Orgasms in orbit.
big dildos, organs in orbit. I mean, this is a side.
That's something else.
Don't do that.
Different.
That's a different Nate. Yeah, no, I mean, my song on that record is called "Stay With Me." Oh, what a fucking song, dude! I remember every time there's like 4 or 5 records in that era that when I listen to, it places me like I'm 17 again. It's Warped Tour 2002 or 2001. The drive-through record stage is there. And Finch, What It Is to Burn is that. Say It Like You Mean It by the Start Line is that. So Long Astoria by the Ataris is that. Like, it's just one of those records, man. It's heavy, but it's melodic. It's just great. I can't wait to see him.
Yeah, and I'm also excited. I don't think I've ever seen Hit the Lights, and I didn't. We talked about them on our show. I forget what the context was. Actually, I think it was Punkish Dad suggested that we cover one of their records, and I was just like, wow, I can't believe that I had never listened to this, and I really enjoyed it. So excited to see them live. And then I just started listening to Driveways a little bit more recently. You're very familiar with them, and dude, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, Driveways cool band. I mean, they're terrible, but you know, I'm kidding. I love them, obviously, for those that don't know. But they're great. Driveway's awesome. Driveway's about to go to the moon, dude. About to go to the moon. You better get on the train now because those fuckers are going straight to the moon.
I'm getting on. How did this band, Eternal Boy, get booked on this show though? Did they really like pay their dues? How'd that work?
Yeah, they won that Battle of the Bands or some shit. You know, that bullshit stuff
at the VFW.
Where everybody cheers, the whoever cheers the loudest, you know, that's the band that wins. Is that how you do it?
I heard they just got all their friends and family in to that show, and they just cheered really loud, and then they won. But yeah, Eternal Boy playing. I'm trying to think. I think now Eternal Boy's played the most 4 chords. Actually, not true. Keep Flying has played the most 4 chords ever, who are also on the bill.
Yeah, they're great. Actually, I brought up Eternal Boy the other day. I was at the gym, like one of those classes that's like weights and treadmills, right? And the instructor, who she's kind of got like tattoos and the glasses, and she starts playing all these different like cover songs of like Taylor Swift cover songs and this and that. And so after class, I'm like, listen, there's one that you got to add. If you're going with Taylor Swift cover songs, you got to check this one out. And I told her, so I haven't been back to the class, but it better be on that rotation for the next time.
Oh, you work out and shit, dude? Is that what that was about?
Yeah, I do. Pick things up and put them down.
Yeah, dude, what a fucking dumb thing to do, right? It's like, oh, I'm gonna like sweat and like lose weight and shit,
and not die because I'm too fat.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Speaking of that stuff, though, I definitely am trying to do that so I can fit into this what's going to be some awesome merch a little bit better this year. And I love the logo, by the way. I think the neon flamingo is amazing. Do you put that together yourself, or do you work with others? What was the process with this year's logo? Anything you could speak to?
Yeah, totally. The thing about Four Chord that sucks and is awesome is that it's branded differently every year. So every single thing we get and buy, we get it, we buy it, and we never use it again. So I love like mid-century contemporary modern type shit. I work with one of my homies from Pittsburgh. He's awesome. He's such a great graphic designer. He just puts everything, any stupid idea I have, he puts into reality. His name's Nick Prezioso. He is the graphic designer for the festival, for the ad mat. But I kind of wanted to bring back I think we're going to stick with the flamingo going forward. It's going to be in different iterations, but I think that in 2024, that really established kind of the mascot for the festival. Like this year, we're collaborating with this awesome sock company in Spain that was on site last year called American Socks. And they have made custom Four Chord socks with that on it, which are awesome. But yeah, so that it's kind of a collaborative effort with me and Nick.
That's awesome. And so that's not the same person that did the installation, the kind of sign thing last year? Is that sign thing or is that coming back in some, or is there going to be something different? Or if it's secret, you do not have to spill it?
Not a secret. It'll be back. Then that is a different artist. That's he's an artist. He's a craftsman. He does like the gnarliest. When I say gnarly, like one of a kind, like really rich home install things, like whether it's custom. I mean everything custom bathrooms and bit. But his name is Derek and Derek Abelhawk, and he is the guy that does that. That will be back this year, and it'll have all brand new signs on it with all the bands playing on it. Last year it was real funny. I was just talking to him like last week or 2 weeks ago. He was telling me that like people were, and these are like bolted on, like nailed on, and people were ripping the signs off of the stakes to get the bands. Thankfully, he kept Eternal Boy and he kept Blink, which I have in my office here now too. But those will be back.
Animals. So wait, they destroyed it?
They ripped. I mean, he can fix anything, so nothing's destroyed. But they just ripped the pieces, the signs of the bands off, which I got to tell you, I don't know how that was even possible, but some of them got removed. Animals, savages.
Wow. Okay.
Rile people up with Blink-182. They do crazy things.
They must be really Philly.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we'll say. Hey, one more side thing. So I think you always have a really good variety of food there for people, and you get the food trucks and stuff going on. Anything new with that this year? Are we same favorites from years past?
Great question. As a matter of fact, on my other computer right now, it just got real bright. My face, people are listening, they can't see it, but I have the food truck list here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 11 food trucks this year. Some of the same, some new. So we have like Blue Sparrow is going to be back, which is my favorite food truck in the city of Pittsburgh. Mid-City Grill will be back. Walk on the Wild Side will be back. Millie's homemade ice cream will be back. Buckeyes will be back. Pizza Nova will be back, and Roots Juicery will be back. And then we've added a gourmet sandwich place that's going to be there. We've added a really sick food truck. It's called Food Fighters, and it's like American style food. And then we've added a boba tea spot. And then I'm thinking, it's not confirmed yet, but I'm thinking about adding like a coffee piece to that too. But I feel like, do people want like iced coffee at 8 p.m. or like 5 p.m.? I don't know. But
Maybe.
People on our survey, they were like, can we have more caffeinated options that aren't like soda? And I thought that was a weird request, so I'm trying to adhere to those requests.
And then the beer sponsors or the alcohol sponsors this year, same lineup or a little bit different?
Yeah, so we're working with Dancing Gnome again. They're doing a custom beer this year. It's going to be a crushable. It's going to be crushable beer this year. They're going to probably lean away from IPA this year, or at least make it a little less hoppier so it's more crushable in the sun. But we've got Beatbox is coming back as an awesome sponsor. Surfside, which will be canned vodka. I don't even drink up Straight Edge. As a matter of fact, check this out. Our bass player got me these custom picks.
Oh,
it says
cool.
XXX Pittsburgh Straight Edge. And then on the back, it's me dressed up as Milo from The Descendants, and it says Rishman on it. So we've got Surfside. Jack Daniels will be there. We have a new one named Kanan Jack, which is like canned margaritas. Sick. Ryan Geist will be back again, and Wild Basin is going to be our seltzer sponsor this year as well.
That's a pretty good lineup there. Steve loves the Surfside.
Yeah, just reserve me a spot outside the Surfside tent. Those are my go-tos. I like them.
And I'll tell you what, the Dancing Gnome stuff. So I'm definitely going to try that. IPA can be a little heavy in the extreme heat of the summer. So I actually really like that change. Not that it was bad. It's just it can weigh heavy on you. So
definitely.
Good choice.
Definitely, yeah.
All right, what else we got for Four Chord Music Festival 12? I am certainly excited coming up. Give everybody the actual website and the socials and all the things if they don't know it. Yeah,
I mean, you guys are going light on me today. I mean, I thought there was going to be some meaty questions. Some summer house drama type questions. fourchordmusicfest.com. Tickets on sale. Ticket tiers are selling out. I would definitely think about getting them sooner than later. Parking for day 2 is sold out, but there's parking all over if you're from the area. The parking lot that the venue owns is what we are pre-selling, and that's what sold out for day 2. Day 1's almost sold out, but there's parking all over. Station Square and in the city, and there's easy access to it. We've updated our frequently asked questions page on our website very, very copiously. There's virtually every question that you could ask would be there if there are any questions. But again, fourchordmusicfest.com, all of the social handles are Four Chord Music Festival. And yeah, please don't make fun of me too hard on the internet.
Yeah, don't do that. And it's really easy to find. All I did was Google Four Chord and it came right up. And go check it out.
I thought you were saying, oh yeah, I looked it up too. All you had to do is Google Four Chord Rishi Bahl sucks, and it's all there about all the shit that he had.
I didn't do that. I could try. Now I feel bad without the hard hitting questions. I mean, I probably. Hey, I know we're kind of wrapping things up, but how about this? And here, I don't know if you would know this or not, but could there potentially be any? I don't want to say feuds, but any bands that are booked this year that you're worried about interacting with each other?
Not that I feel comfortable saying on the public.
Maybe
I would say not feuds with each other, but maybe the crowds don't interact well. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is something that I'm not concerned about because we have great security and we'll make sure everything's cool. But like, that's just something that I think about. So like, I'm scarred from shows for that reason. Cause when I was younger, I got really into straight edge, like too much. And I went to this show in Erie, for a hardcore band who was straight edge. And I found out what militant straight edge was, where like these people would go and beat the shit out of people that drink and like, and I was like, I can't fuck that. That's too much. And like, when I say beat them up, they would like beat them to a bloody pulp. Yeah. Let's just say that there's some straight edge bands on day one that we'll have to be very hyper cognizant of. But then again, no person in that world is going to pay $100 to go see those bands. So maybe we'll be all right.
Is there a world, just going to get some meaty shit in here at the end, if that's what I'm a
vegetarian.
Yeah.
I'm a vegetarian too, so do it.
You can handle it. So let's say that there is like a band that's been pretty dormant that maybe is on the wall, like directly behind you, that is recently kind of releasing new music or updating their music from, back in the day. And I don't know, maybe they're willing to take a call. Is there room to add like somebody like that should the perfect situation arise?
You see who that is?
I do. I don't know if you want me to say that out loud.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they're fine. I've been trying to get Rufio to reunite for years. As a matter of fact, I'm going to and I'm sure he'd be fine with it. Scott, I think the guy Rufio is like all time for me. I mean, when I say all time, it's like Blink, it's like Newfound, it's a starting line, it's the Ataris, it's Rufio for me. Game changer in every sense of the word for the genre, for me personally. I'm just going back May 15th, 2024. Oh, I'm sorry, 2014 is the first time that I hit up Scott. Like, they don't have like an agent, at least that I know of. So I hit him up on Facebook chat in 2014. Said they're not playing shows. I hit him up in 2015, hit him up in 2020, right before the pandemic, hit him up in 2021, hit him up in 2023, and then I hit him up on June 12th this year, just to make sure. And from what I understand, and again, they're going to do what they need to do, but my understanding is they're not looking to do shows at all right now. They want to release music, and that's kind of what they want to do. But wow, am I excited for the new music that they are going to release. I would, if Scott happens to somehow come across this and we can tag him, if you can clip this and like put it as an individual one. Scott Sellers or Rufio, this is Rishi from the band Eternal Boy and also from Four Chord Music Fest. You name your price and it is done. And that's a promise. That's how much I want Rufio on Four Chord, and I would do almost anything, put that in quotations, almost anything for them to do that.
Fantastic. We may have hit them up too.
Well, he wants the cornstalk maze of Porta Johns is what he's looking for.
Yeah, maybe that's this whole time. That's all I needed was this fucking haunted house of shit.
That's what you need to call it,
dude. The haunted house of shit. It's just like fake poop and sounds.
Could you charge $1? Could you charge $1 for people to do it? I think they would pay $1 to go
Dude,
in and
we'll
do the
just
maze.
and then like when they get to the end, they just get fucking pelted with fake pieces of shit. That'd be great, dude.
I don't know. Like that wasn't in the original plans, but it's your show, so it's
like you're taking it a little too far, Rishi. We just wanted the porta potties, and now you're
listen. It's your show. You do what you want. It's
now my mind's going, dude.
Absolutely. Okay. So hey, I got to do a ranking it, and we're not going to do like your top 3 most anticipated bands because you've already kind of done that. So we hit you with this last year. It was before the show. We're going to hit you with it this year, including last year. Top 3 favorite Four Chords.
Yeah. Blink. Obviously. I mean, that's I had like a moment on like Blink was playing and I was like on the second stage. If you guys for people that have been at Four Chord, I'm standing on the second stage looking over into the crowd watching Blink play. It was a seminal moment in my life. I always thought seminal was a weird word because it sounds like semen and I didn't really understand it when I was a kid. But anyway, that was number one, obviously Blink playing. I mean, even that lineup, I look back at that lineup for that day, dude, like Blink, Jimmy Eat World, Knuckle Puck, State Champs, Set Your Goals. I mean, Hot Mulligan, Bowling for Soup, dude. I mean, like, I don't really know how that can be topped. My second favorite Four Chord was Four Chord 4. And that was the first year that I got exactly what I wanted. And it was the starting line in State Champs that played that show. And my third favorite Four Chord was after the pandemic in 2021. These might be different even than what I did in previous years, but 2021, Blink had canceled because of Mark's sickness. I didn't know how it was going to go, and it was awesome. As a matter of fact, it was so awesome that recently I've been like, maybe we just need to go back to one day. Like the one day thing, like is, and pack it up, start it at 11 a.m., add 7 bands to that day, do it in one day, let everybody get it out of their system. You know, people over the age of 35, like just don't want the multiple day thing. And I think back to that 2021 fest, it was just perfect. It was perfect. It was flawless in terms of crowd and vibe and bands, and everybody got out of their system and people wanted more to come back. Sometimes I feel like the 2-day thing, like people just, or even dare I say 3 or 4, people just get fatigued by it. What do you guys think?
I'm okay with 2. I think more than that would be a whole lot. I guess it depends, how much you give and how hard you go on day 1 into day 2. But I don't personally have any interest in like 3 or 4 day festivals.
Yeah. You're not into Lollapalooza or Lilith Fair or anything like that.
Lilith Fair. Wow.
Wasn't that a bunch of days long? I don't know.
It was, but that's a throwback festival from like the 90s. That's crazy. That was the all women festival. That was an awesome festival.
I mean, I'm sure you could get in if you wanted to, but listen, I think the multiple, here's the thing. Like I agree with Steve, but I think the multiple days, it feels more like a big event. Like it feels like a huge thing.
Good point.
And especially for people that are traveling in, like, you got your 2 days that evening, you can go out with your buddies after the next morning, you guys can meet and go out to breakfast or whatever, right? You can make a weekend or a couple days out of it. So I think there's a lot to be said about that.
Interesting. It just feels like, it feels like at times, like obviously like because we're a small fest, like we can't, like if it was up to me, like we would blow out both days. And like, but obviously we have to be cognizant that there are, particularly last year with Blink, and then the second day was a little smaller, obviously, than the other day. It just begs the question that like, do people really have the bandwidth to do it for that long? The older we get. And I feel like if it's on a Saturday, you don't have to miss any work at all, right? You come in Friday evening or after work, you hang out with your friends on Friday, you spend all day at the festival, you wake up Sunday, you guys go shopping, you have brunch, and then you go home. Like it's a weekend out of it anyway, but it's just, there's 2 pieces to this. There's what would I like to do and what would the consumer like to do? And then there's like kind of the cost involved in, staging and lighting in 2 days versus 1 day. But it's just something I've been thinking about because 2021 was a very cool, magical day.
I think that you would still get the buy-in if it was 1 day, but Chris is right. It does seem like kind of a bigger thing when it's 2 days, but I think that if it's 1 day and it's a big blowout, it's all day. I think that you would still, I mean, that's just me talking, I think you'd still get the same type of interest.
What do you guys think about like doing a huge day on Saturday and then doing our pre-show at the venue the night before on Friday, and it being from 7 to 11?
I loved you did a pre-show. I think it was 2 years ago at Preserving, right? And it was Red Jumpsuit Apparatus and the emo band
408
live. And 408. Yeah, we got there just as I was so mad I missed 408. But anyways, they ended up playing at the show. I think the next day or the day after. But
Yep.
I really enjoyed having that Friday. I think if you had like a pre-show thing on Friday and then just one big day on Saturday, like you'd still get me to drive across the state for sure.
Interesting.
And I love that emo
this stuff
karaoke.
too, yeah.
Those emo band dudes are the best.
So what's the question? The question is that you have your big blowout Saturday, 11 to 8 or 9 or 10, whatever.
Mhm.
And then you do a show the day before, but it's only half a day. Is that what?
Yeah,
you're
so
saying?
the show starts, first band's on at 7. You've got 4 or 5 bands. Maybe you start at 6. That's got like moderate, not maybe the big, massive Blink-182 size band there will be on Saturday, but you get a band that you would see at Stage AE, headlining that with four other bands, that are also middle stature. It just feels like people are just totally worn out at the end of day 2. And it's funny. I was talking to a manager who manages fairly large bands, and he has a rule where any festival that any of his bands play, they cannot play last on the last day. And he was telling me, because his experience is that, particularly in the punk and the emo and the hardcore and the rock genre, people are fucking done. They're fried by the end of that day on Sunday, or the last day of the festival. And it got me thinking.
So like if you kick things off with like a lineup, like, I don't know, like Finch, Wonder Years, The Used, and
Jimmy Eat World.
Well, that's what I was thinking. That
Yeah.
would be your Friday lineup, and then
Yep.
Saturday would be just like the mixture, and then the headliner. I'm into that. Yeah, I'm into
Cool.
that.
I think I might try that next year. I don't know. We'll see. I'm looking at next year right now. So there's that
You got
too.
to.
It would be cool if I think Punchline would be a good band for that Friday before the show kind of thing, because they have a local following and they're quite beloved.
I disagree. I like my lineup better.
Okay.
Punchline's always welcome at Four Chord. I love Punchline.
All right.
Cool, man.
Well, yeah, I think that's all I got. I don't have any more questions for you, Rishi. I appreciate you taking the time today to talk about the only show I go to all year, and that is true. This is my favorite show. It is the only show I go to. Steve can't say the same, but that's not a dig at him. He loves going to shows. I love going to this show. So,
Brother, that made my day hearing that. I appreciate that very much, man.
yes, sir.
And I think that we should point out that this is an independently run music festival, one of very, very few, and Rishi and his team do a very good job and avoid the big bad company that takes everybody for hostage with their ticket fees and their nonsense. So thank you for that. It's really cool to see somebody doing this independently with really the artist and the consumer in mind.
I appreciate that very much. It's very difficult. David versus Goliath. Rishman versus Goliath.
Yeah, well, Rishman is going to win every year, in my opinion. So we'll keep
Thanks,
it going, keep the concert going, keep Four Chord going. You guys, the easiest way to do that is to buy a ticket. Go check them out, even if you're out of town. If it's an hour away, even 2 hours away, even 4 hours away, like Steve, you got to come in for the concert. So go check out the site, buy your ticket. Check out those VIPs, although leave me one, please, because I still want to do that. But can't wait to see all you guys there. It's going to be a blast. It's only a couple months away. Man, does time go fast. So
Yeah.
appreciate everybody out there listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. Guys, if you did, go give us a 5-star review on either Apple or Spotify. Give us a written review either way. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to check out our shop where we have a bunch of cool stuff. Not as cool as the Four Chord merch, which I can't wait to see. But go check it out nonetheless. It has all of your favorite High School Never End stuff, our logo all over it, mugs, hats, shirts. It's all there. You can get there via our hub, which is simply put www.hsnepod.com.
Yep, and don't forget to support us here at High School Never Ends for free. You can follow us on Instagram or Facebook or X at HSNE Pod. We also have a Discord server. We can chat with our little community. You can find that on our website. We also have a Patreon. If you want to support the show, you can go to www.patreon.com/HSNE Pod. Shout out to our patrons: Chris P, Punkish Dad, Punkish Dad's friend, Punk Rock Mom, Jeff, Tom, Ashley, Jason, Sam, Chris W, Nick, Steve C, Steve Kelly, and Dr. Bernie. We're going to keep the road to Four Chord rolling next week with an all-new episode. Rish, again, thank you so much for joining us. Until then, keep on rocking your dad bods, stir up your rock hands, and blast the pop punk.
It's Dragon Wagon.